So welcome. This is going to be a step-by-step tutorial for how to use Teachscape to pre-plan your observation. This is following the guidelines that were given to my collaboration group from the principal. And feel free to pause or play it as you need to, and just fill in your boxes as I fill them in online. And we'll do this together. So first, let's open the internet. Okay. Next, go to Teachscape. Okay, once you're in Teachscape, you're going to click on the right here and log in. Great. So now that we're logged in, you're going to come up to the left-hand corner where it says Reflect. Click there, and you'll come down to where it says Observation 1. Click on that, and we're going to go to the pre. So click on that, and this form will come up with all these boxes, and we're just going to fill them in, and I'm going to tell you what she's looking for. On the first one, she's looking for the Common Core state standards, and also the New Mexico state standards if you're anybody besides English or math or language arts or math. So we'll just find those by going over to the internet again, and I'm just going to copy paste the Common Core state standards. I'm going to just Google search CCSS. Okay, the first one has the standards. I'm going to click it. I'm going to go click and get the English standards because those are what we use for my elective. And I could come down and choose science or technical, or if you're social studies, you could choose history. But I'm actually going to go up to the writing ones for the Common Core that I'm using on this unit. So those are where the science ones would be, similar process, but I'm going to come to the writing ones. And then click my grade level, which for this case is 7th. And after I click that, I'm just going to copy paste the standards that this unit is addressing or are addressing. So I'm going to highlight it. Copy. Then I'm going to come back over to my other tab, and I'm just going to paste it in there. So now I have my first standard. I'm going to repeat this process to get the second Common Core standard that I'm addressing. And then I'm going to do basically the same process, but Google New Mexico State standards. In this case, New Mexico State Health Standards. And the PED website will come up. I'll click there. And I'll go to my content area and my grade level. And then I'm going to highlight the content standard that I'm using here. And this is only if you're not language arts or math, is my understanding. So social studies, science, art, PE, health, music, we have to do the New Mexico standards as well. So I just copy paste it in there. I'm going to actually put a second one in there, but I won't make you watch. Okay, so that brings us down to the second block. And the second block is talking about context. So it's talking about what did you teach before this day, what are you teaching this day, and what are you going to teach after this day. So you can break that out into the unit, or you could even go bigger and talk about where it sits in the year. For me, I'm talking about where we sit in the previous unit, what that was, what came before this during this unit, and then what we're doing this day, and then what we're going to be doing after this day, the following day. So you're just kind of putting a timeline together of what your class is doing and where this particular day that you're getting observed falls in the chronological order of your teaching. Okay, the third blank is basically looking at aims to see the different learners that you have. I'm also going to use Data Director, but let me show you how to get to AIMS. I just go to Employees on APS's website, and then I click down to AIMS. I click on that. Just go ahead and log in. Down here it tells you what your username is and what your password is. So I'm just gonna put in my employee number and my it's just so like I access my email. And once I get inside, I'll use the data on this AIMS page to inform me what percentage of students are beginning steps all the way to advanced in math and reading. I'll do those percentages and I'll just put those back in my form. And after that, I'm going to come back to the APS website and I'm going to go to Data Director. And the reason why I go there is because I don't know a better way to find out how many ELL students I have. So I just go to Data Director, and it's about the same login thing, I believe. So I log in, and once I'm inside, I click up on the left here, and I click where it says Students. And then once I'm in Students, I can pick Semester 1, and I can pick what period I'm doing. In this case, period 4. So Semester 1, period 4, and I can filter down so it'll just show me which students have ELL by clicking down here. So I click Go, and it looks like 6 students pop up. So 6 out of my 26 students have are ELL. So I'll just come back and I'll put that into my form. And now I have all of the data representing my students that are special ed, how each student did on the SBA, and students who are ELL. So next comes an explanation of what your students will be able to do after this day. And so the way to do this that the principal would like is that if you can kind of reference the language of the standards that you listed in question 1. And so you can say after this day, or after this activity, or after this unit, however you reference this day, you're going to say the students will be able to, and then put the language from the standard or the standards that you put in question 1 down here. So for me, students are going to be able to make clear arguments. That was one of my Common Core standards, was writing clear arguments about why they aren't using illegal substances. So I just went up and I'm using the exact same wordage up there because that makes sense. That's what they want us to be teaching, and that's what they're looking for. And so as long as you put that, this section shouldn't be too hard. You're just talking about students will be able to do those standards, and specifically how you'll see that. Okay, so 5 is an outline or an agenda. You're just showing what you're going to do, what that day is going to look like, and why you're choosing to do those activities. So I have this in hyper mode because it's a lot of writing, and I have it from where we line up in the hallway and I greet them and I brief them through coming in to the students doing several activities, and I also listed some of the probing questions that I'll be asking the students, as well as the class configuration during this part, like are kids working in groups, individually, are they moving? So if you just put, this is basically an outline showing exactly what your day will look like, what you do, and what the students will do. So next I'm going to skip down to 7, and that's where we have our formative and summative assessments. And so your formative assessments can be anything from your thumbs up if you understand, or raise your hand if you understand, to walking around and asking questions, to observing how the students interact. And your summative, of course, are the things that are graded. It's recommended that you have some sort of criteria that the students are made aware of before the summative assessment, such as like a rubric or something. So summative will be the things you're grading. Formative assessments are just how you know your students know, and then where do those fall within the outline of the day. So that's when you'll know that the students understand, and again, how. So next I'm going to come up to how I'm differentiating. Here you're just going to talk about how you're meeting the needs of your ELL students, your high level students, your low level students, and your special ed students. So special ed students come with modifications, and you're just going to write down how you met those. And then you all are familiar with how you differentiate, and you guys have a bunch of great strategies. So here you just list them, and which is kind of cool, because that way if the observer doesn't see them, they can read that, oh yeah, that's what I should be looking for. So lastly, you can put anything you want to make sure the observer notices that they could have otherwise missed in this last blank, and then just kind of go back and beef up anything that you might have missed. And I hope this helps you. I know these things can be frustrating, so I hope this helps you, and good luck.